yeah. Yeah, yeah. How we doing, Lions? Yeah. Juicy fruit. Yeah. Previously on Kimba TV. You don't have to close the whole thing out. You could shave like this, right? You don't have to close the whole thing out right here. All right, Inky. But at the end of the day, Inky, you know where your entry is, right? I don't know where your entry is, but you know where it is, and you also know what your position size is, okay? The Go is asking, what is Kimba's outlook on Trump? I just shared a trade setup, so I was saying that $32 to $32 on Trump is good value, and so I longed the Trump coin. Yeah, my goal is to share at least 2 or 3 ideas that pay for the whole VIP thing, you know? So hopefully, unfortunately, I was sleeping while it went to like 42 or whatever, so I didn't get to TP anything. I still have it open, but yeah, so value, area low, and breakout. Anchor VWAP 42 probably should have been a little bit of a shaving TP, but I mean, I was sleeping, so what can I do? So I would love to see naked point of control or the 886 golden pocket rotation. So like, if Bitcoin can actually do a full rotate to like 109, then I think Trump coin could probably hit like 48 or maybe even 52. So that's where I would probably like look to shave a good chunk. All right. But yeah, I told you guys between $30 and $32 is good value. So I have entries from like $31.95 to $32.55. Beer Marquez says BRB in a few hours. Sounds good. Medi says, oh, I missed 15-second TA. How's it going here? Yep, rewind. But a lot of people made a really good observation, Medi. It's that this is identical to what we talked about on Friday, what we would want for the Tuesday setup. So there's a couple of lions that are like, holy shit, this is exactly what we talked about on Friday when we were talking about how we would want Tuesday morning to be like. So, you know, it's another one of like, for me, I know exactly what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I know exactly what I'm doing. So one, it's going to be like a test of, did you guys actually understand what we were planning and talking about on Friday? Because if you forgot everything that we spent like 3-4 hours planning and talking about on Friday for Tuesday open, you might want to get like Ginkgo or something, you know, like some memory enhancement supplements. Maybe Bannon says, yeah, man, like legit exactly what we were talking about. Yeah, so you don't really need 15-second alpha today, 15-second alpha TA, because we already did it on Friday. Yeah, so think about all the stuff that we talked about on Friday in anticipation for Tuesday market open, right? It's almost identical to what we talked about. Yeah, so I think instead of like 15-second alpha TA, it really just comes down to how well prepared are you. You know, for some people, it might be like a big like news flash, like, hey, how is it that we'll talk about Tuesday for 3, 4, 5 hours on Friday and then you forget everything? Yeah, but basically, let's just talk about data, right? So the all-time high is during ETH. So RTH values never got hit up at 110, okay? It's pixel fucking settlement, all right? It's literally pixel. It's like a bearish retest of settlement. I don't think that's a good short. I think it's going to go higher. All right, so value area high is right at RTH gap, which never got actually fully filled. Okay, and then you have full rotation, so daily open is outside of value. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so daily is outside of value. So if value gets turned into support, then you know that we're going to rotate to the other side. All right. But yeah, I would probably be looking at like 106, the value area high. I think settlement, this looks like 0.5. It's probably pixel perfect 0.5 too. Yeah, it's pixel perfect 0.5. So look at that. It's pixel, the settlement is pixel perfect 0.5. Yeah, so you got golden pocket lining up with value area highs. So the 106.6 is kind of an interesting area. But I would really like RTH to sweep the high. All right, so kind of, you know, basically all that shit that we talked about on Friday. You know, obviously look for divs, open interest, you know the drill. Kimba, did you take that Trump entry? Yes. Yes. I have a blowfin entry, and I actually think blowfin is the only place that I opened the Trump long. I don't know if you were here in the very beginning of the stream. If you weren't, exclamation rewind or go to the YouTube and get caught up. But a lot of people were making, you know, the observation that, hey, this is kind of similar to stuff that we planned on Friday. Remember on Friday, we talked about, you know, what we would want over the weekend, what we would want for inauguration stuff, and then eventually what kind of, you know, where we would want the price to be, right? Some people, like, I'm still waiting. I think I would have liked a little bit higher to short. But if you guys already shorted settlement, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to see who's going to win and who's not. So in 15 minutes, if we start to spend time below VWAP, well, you already know what that means. All right. So if you're unsure of what's going on, you need to have levels to the upside identified. You need to have levels to the downside identified. Okay. But if I were to ask you, for example, DT, what was the plan that we said we would want to see for for Tuesday? And I don't know if you got caught up, but like I took a TrumpCoin long and I shared the setup. Well, not the setup, but I told you guys when I was doing it in the Discord VIP section. All right. EB says, I thought you called for a 90-day sweep. Negative. You should get caught up. Yeah, you should get caught up, EB. Exclamation rewind, exclamation YouTube. All right. EB, we don't make any calls, okay? We identify levels to the downside. We identify levels to the upside, and you got to read the data. All right, and make sure you're in the Discord. All right. If you try to memorize what I say, you will get fucked up. You have to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. All righty. Come on. Easy money, Bugatti money.
You just said.
Schwiggity, schwaggity. Come on. Any questions, DT? Eski says, not surprised BTC stopped at Golden Poquito. Not at Golden Poquito. Golden Poquito is a little bit higher up. At value area high. That's what I would like. Because then you can also clean the RTH gap. Any questions? Tito says, on the Trump coin, what is last TP? What I want you to do is get caught up on Altcoin Nerd Out episode 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, so I'll shave. And you were here when I already talked about this in the morning, right? I think anchor VWAP, point of control, and the actual major is probably all good levels, but I would try to always aim for all-time high on altcoins. Let's go, S&P! S&P, help me! That's what I'm talking about, man! That's what I'm talking about! Let's get them boogamas, boy! Let's get them boogamas! I can cheat! Come on, too easy! How we doing, Lions? Hey, Lions! Longers, shorters, bulls, bears, we're all lions. Hey, 9 more minutes on the 30-minute candle close. Let's go. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Wait. Does everybody have levels to the upside? Does everybody have levels to the downside?
I'm juicing.
Does everybody feel like you're prepared for a pump? You're prepared for a dump. You're prepared for 98.4 to get swept, 99 to get swept? Yes? You guys are ready for full rotate if it wants to go to 109? Yes? You guys know how to look at open interest, CVD, RSI, S&P, and be able to tell if it's bullish or bearish? Yes? Let's do it. And if you don't, then you know exactly what you want to work on and get better at, but that's it, If it starts to drop, see if it's bullish. If it starts to pump, see if it's bearish. Does it give you a reason to short? Does it give you a reason to long? All right. You guys excited? You guys ready? It's Tuesday. U.S. markets are back. It's snowing in Texas. We juicing. I'm fucking logging TrumpCoin. What the fuck is going on? It's snowing in Texas and I'm logging TrumpCoin. What is going on? I don't know. We might have a nice little live TP. I mean, Crypto Phase has like, 1 mil, 2 mil. We might be able to do something like that today. All right. What do you guys think about the math? What do you guys think about the math, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. I mean, the normal, like I gotta think about this because value area high is at 382. So it should get there at some point. But from a mathematical standpoint, I think you might see one more bullish retest of the point of control. So that's going to result in the 886, 618, So should I shave some here or just say fuck it? Are you guys starting to understand that depending on what it does and when it does it, you could have a confirmation or an anticipatory 3 drives tomorrow? If it cleans this tonight, but it leaves a shitty high, oh my God. And there's room for CVD for a bear div. Oh, RTH gonna clean all everything, right? So in 26 minutes, I was debating maybe sticking around for Macaulay Culkin, but if I do that, I'm never gonna get other shit that I need to get done for you guys. And I'd rather show up early tomorrow, hella early, and get like stuff like this done. You guys have any questions? You're good though, right? Does that make sense? Obviously, anytime that you make a high, you want to look at it and go, is it finished or is it not, right? You want tails. So I think everybody can help each other out on like what it looks, if it looks good or not. But maybe there's a 3 drives tomorrow with RTH, chat. I'm still going to pink the way that I'm going to do it, but so yeah, S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, CME, they're all going to be paused in 26 minutes. And so you have a chance for a ETH gap after Macaulay Culkin. Kisorek says, what if we sweep the all-time high outside RTH with a clean high though? Is it shitty anyway due to being outside of RTH? No, but you're still going to have the same conundrum that we have right now, which is that RTH never made a all-time high. RTH doesn't have a good high. Hey, Kimba, but like if it like sweeps the ATH during RTH, but then ETH, Macaulay has a gap. What? Yeah, don't get too carried away with it. I don't even know what the fuck I said, but I know it's coming. I know that question was coming. I don't even know what the fuck I just said. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that we haven't covered. So, depending on how the ETH gap is formed, it will form and how the high looks like, it will form the narrative for tomorrow RTH. And then the RTH gap will just simply confirm it. All right. 1738 says, how does you draw this fib on CME? It's this one. Swing high, swing low. It looks like this because it's RTH, meaning RTH never hit 110, 150. Okay? So RTH, all it did was it made a funky shitty high at value area high and 7.5. That's probably going to get clean tomorrow. Okay? Now, if for some reason we just nuke, which is possible, I guess, then that is just going to be extra confluence for like a swing fail, like a cleaning of this. Okay? If they leave it like this, then I would really think about longing this. Like a 97.5 long. You know, maybe clean that too. I don't know. That part is gonna take a little bit more or less Latuche, okay, than we are dealing with right now. But yeah, if they leave it like that, then this would be like a really nice, easy long for me. But this should get cleaned. And I want to go 1, 2. You know? Yeah. Sucks that we couldn't get it doing RTH, huh? Makes it a little bit more difficult for us. But let's go, Trump! Do you think the 111K short will be a quick SFP or slow failed auction like usual? So this is what I would say, Xenon. If it's an SFP, usually what you're doing is you're looking at the range rotation. So a deviation of value area low or value area high. Okay? If it continues to lose levels, then you can aim for it and stretch it out even longer. Okay? But I don't want you to think that it's 111. I have 111, I have 113, and I have 115 as levels of interest. All right? This is what I would say, Xenon. If it's fast, like if it's a swing fail, then I'm probably kind of enthusiastic about longing 97.5. If it kind of takes a long time up there, I'm going to be really sus. I'm going to be looking at structure, maybe CVD. You know, I think a Wyckoff distribution might be happening, you know, Kimba Crown, whatever you want to call it. And maybe it's going to be looking for a rotation towards like 85 or 72. So how long it spends time up there, along with confluence with S&P, is going to be something I will be taking into consideration. Do you remember when rates were cut last time for FOMC and the markets dumped? And hella people were like, why are the markets dumping if it's bullish? How funny would it be if he cuts rates again next week, and like it's the thing that triggers us to go to like 85 or 72, but because of the cheap money at 72 or 85 or 80 or whatever it is, it's a quick buyback. Yeah, we got a couple of things that I think we can work our way back towards, but I don't even know what's going to happen. I don't even know if we're going to have ETH gap in the next 30 minutes. So it's a little bit useless going that far out, but you know, just level by level. Kimba, how did you identify 97.5? It's just it's level to level. I don't have really any levels, you know, below this blue line, right? Yeah, just like lots of confluence. We looked at it yesterday. It's a level that we've had for quite some time. Right around golden pocket. It's the 0.25 negative extension of the current range. And I do believe there's like a weekly or a daily around there as well. Yeah. Dove CS says, how would you trade that quick buyback? So everybody's execution is going to be a little bit differently depending on what your risk appetite is, Dove Sia. But conceptually, most people are doing something very similar where you have a level of, I guess, tolerance or threshold. Okay, so you're saying to yourself, what is the level where even if it loses it, as long as it comes back above that level, it becomes bullish for you. Some people, not only will they have a level, but they'll have a time expectation. So they'll say, dude, it's got to snap back within a 5-minute candle. It's got to snap back within 10 minutes. It's going to snap back within 30 minutes. Okay. Some people are going to say, well, how do I say what time frame is going to be the best? Well, the rule that I like to follow is you overcompensate with time if you're lacking other edge. So for example, if you can clearly see that there's a hidden CVD bull div, you probably don't need to sit there with your thumb up your ass talking about a 30-minute candle close. Okay, if you see a CVD hidden bull div and you got longs stopped out, well, you might be able to wait for a 15-minute. Let's say that all longs got stopped out, hidden CVD bull div, you got a regular baby bull div, and on that lower low, you also got a whole bunch of bottom shoulders trapped. Well, fuck, then maybe you don't need to wait 15 minutes. You can maybe wait for a 5-minute, maybe a 1-minute. I've even shown scenarios where it was a 1-minute structure change. So you've got basic concepts like you can overcompensate with time if you don't have enough edge. You should already be anticipating what kind of edge would give you permission to shave time off. But there's really no right or wrong. A lot of this is going to come down to like your own experiences and your sample size. You know, if you've only played a 7505 rotation 5 times or an 886 to 618 rotation 5 times, your execution is going to be significantly different than somebody that's seen it 2,000 times. Okay, mainly because that person that's seen it is going to factor in many, many other variables. It's not so binary for other, you know. It's more of like a color spectrum, you know, because it's a probabilities range. It's not like, is it bullish, is it bearish? It's not binary, it's a spectrum. So the sooner that you can start to realize that and understanding that each piece of confluence or edge simply just adds or subtracts from the probability of what you think is going to happen actually playing out. Ednex says, that makes a lot of sense. Sometimes you say no blind limits, but yet you already on a position before the 30-minute candle form. Yeah, and well, so Eden, remember that everything that I say is basic strategy and things that we've seen before. So when I say no blind limits, that's like me saying put your stop loss at break even. You know, at the end of the day, do you literally have to do it? No. You know, it's basic foundation. It's like a parent saying, hey, make sure you wear your seatbelt. You know, but like if you're a 50-year-old grown-ass man and you're just running into the gas station, you know, maybe you don't need to wear a seatbelt. You can make that call. Right? So everything that I say, I really, really try to make sure that I don't contaminate it with my own personal opinion. I really try to stick to historical patterns and things that we've all seen together. Yeah, so some people like that. Other people are like, no, just tell me long or short. Fuck, you're so cryptic.
Not enough Latushi.
You good? So let's get it, Eden. When you are referring to weekly, daily, do you mean MPOCs? No, there's actually things called weekly and daily candle closes, like daily levels, weekly levels. It's when the candle open and close stack up together. Yeah. Shred Hugo says, Kimba, do you use liquidation heat map? Yes. HyblockCapital. You do realize that I was one of the, if not the first streamer to start using HyblockCapital and KingFisher. I think it's debatable, you know, but at least on Twitch I was. But yeah, just because you don't see me constantly looking at it, just remember that I have a 57-inch ultra wide, okay? So just because it's not being captured by OBS or I'm not looking at it on stream doesn't mean that I'm not using it. All right, go to the Discord, and on the top left side, there's a section that says trading tools. There's a link to every single tool that I use with like huge discounts. So Owner Kill says, I think the trick is not to make money, but not to lose money. You hit it right on the spot, brother. Yeah, we're not traders per se. We're risk managers. We hold on for dear life. In terms of capital that we have already accrued. you know? Like you would, like if you were protecting your family, for example, you would never leave your own house defenseless in the pursuit of trying to chase and like hunt somebody else down, right? Like your job is to protect your family. So you don't want to be the guy that like goes out there and gets baited chasing a fool, and then your village gets raided and pillaged while you're out, type of shit. So you've got an untapped naked point of control, and that's really it. I mean, you got VWAP. Great questions about value area low and VWAP. So I don't think it'll really make a difference if I'm here or not. You know? And if you're more on like the newer side, more of a younger lion cub, if you really want to take a shot before RTH, you're more than welcome to. Just do smaller positions. But the easiest thing would be to just wait and gauge RTH. Wait. Somebody's asking a good question. Dayox says, debate dump. Dayox, that's a great question. Unfortunately, I wish I could tell you that, hey, when it does this or when it does that, this is what's most probable, okay? It changes from time to time, especially if the market is indeed truly bullish or truly bearish, okay? What I do want you to start doing is think about CME is paused right now. So you said, could this be a debate dump, right? So when you say debate dump, what does that mean? So it dumps during Macaulay, but what? It comes right back and there is no gap, or it dumps, it stays down there and it makes a gap. So when you say debate dump, I want you to actually define to me what you mean by debate dump. Are you talking about dumping and then coming right back? And so when CME comes back, it's like nothing happened, there is no gap? Or are you talking about a scenario where it dumps and then there is a gap? And what I want you to also do is to start paying attention to what each of those brings. Your subconscious is going to start to pick up on the pattern that is relevant during that time. All right? So you know what a gap means, correct? It means that it was so bearish or so bullish that it didn't wait for CME, which means that if it's a gap fill but not mine, dip the tip, right? All those songs that we listened to on repeat today, if it just dips its toes into the gap and then immediately reverts out, then it's continuation of that direction, right? So you can kind of think about it for yourself and work your way backwards. So if you dump and you have a gap, okay? So let's say, for example, that your debate dump is, it dumps now. So that means that when CME comes back online, you're going to have so CME is going to come open right here, right? It's going to have a gap, okay? You can either dip your toes in and go, or you can start to spend time, which means this way. So you can use that to figure out, based off of patterns and how often it's doing what, which way would be debate and which one would be more organic. And so hopefully you can understand why I said, depending on the actual true sentiment, the one that's more organic will play out more. So if it pumps like this, if it pumps now, CME opens in 22 minutes, it's a gap like this. If it truly is bullish, it'll do this and it'll go. And that will have a higher probability of playing if it really is bullish. Okay, but I want you to see it for yourself. So it's important that you track the way in which we talked about it, and then you start seeing it for yourself. So like today, for example, let's see if there is a gap. Let's see if it doesn't do shit, and start from there. And then eventually your subconscious is going to be able to, throw out ideas on what your bias is. Sounds good? And eventually, like, you're gonna start to, pick up on like, oh fuck, this motherfucker actually pulling back to VWAP, or oh shit, this thing. Because let's say, for example, it's dumping, right? And you're wondering to yourself, is this a JBait dump? Well, what if it pixel fucks the VWAP and then the 30-minute candle close actually closes the candle green? Or it grabs a single print or not all of them and then bounces again, right? There's all these different factors that will influence whether it's really bullish or bearish. All right. What's the probability difference between RTH and ETH gap? I'm not sure what you mean. Real Crisis says, do you have a video or a rewind that explains ExoChart? No, but I mean, ExoChart has its own YouTube tutorial videos, and there's probably dozens, if not hundreds, of YouTube tutorials about ExoCharts already out there. Yeah, just type in ExoCharts tutorial. I bet you come up with hundreds on YouTube. Yeah! Hey, longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, bears, we're all lions. I told you. Every day, every trade, you have an opportunity to prove it to yourself that you know what you're doing. Are you thinking worst case scenario? Are you prepared? Because I'm pretty sure we talked about all this, including what's happening over on my favorite shitcoin right now. Am I right? It looks like a sweep. Kachoya! Hero, let's go. It's too easy. Lions, let's see if I'm stopped out tomorrow or if I'm still juicing. Lions, show me you know what you're doing. 30-minute candle close Bugatti money. Cheers.